Welcome back to the Hero's Journey podcast. We're on episode number 43. I'm your host, Nick. We're back with a lot of comics here. We left off, we were looking at September of 1944, and we're picked back up where we left off, still in September of 1944. I do have to say, I read all the comics in chronological order based on the spreadsheet that I have, publication dates. I go by cover dates. And tonight's episode just happens to be that a bunch of really cool issues have lined up and fall into the next set of 10 that I was reading. So without further ado, we're going to get to the comics, but I wanted to say first off that I'm going to change things up a little bit today. I'm going to see, normally I give the values of the comics that I find on for CGC sales right after I describe the comics and we talk about them. But I thought what might be more interesting is if I did it at the end. So I'll go through all the comics and you guys can kind of maybe guesstimate what you think would be a good sale price for these comics. And then at the end, I'll give a good sale price. I'll tell you what the recent sales were, and I'll tell you what the big book of the week was at that point. So we'll go through it. You guys can figure out what you think is the big book of the week, what a good sale price would be. And I'll tell you tonight that today, this recording will include some really good contenders. It won't be easy to pick out a winner, I don't believe, but I'll leave that up to you. So here we go. Without further ado, we are going to do it. All right, so first up, we have Submariner Comics number 44. This is the timely issue from fall 1944. Got Alex Schomburg cover here. Not the greatest fan of that cover, but clearly you can see that there's a lot of action on that cover, a lot of details, people shooting, trying to take down Submariner. No one can take him down. He's a force to reckon with, right? Okay, so Submariner investigates why ships caught in a mysterious fog cause living death for the passengers. After that, Submariner is up against Nazis shooting people with darts that speeds up their metabolism so that they die of old age within minutes. Then Submariner has competition for Master of the Sea when Ogar releases powder into the ocean that greatly enlarges single-cell protoplasm into creatures that attack everything in sight. So some guy, Ozar, decided he wanted to be Master of the Sea over the Submariner, and he came up with this fancy little potion that turned single-cell organisms into these huge, crazy creatures. And, they attack things on water and on land. It's just nuts. And finally, the Angel gets to the bottom of a kidnapping plot by a broke boyfriend. All right. So we did have one fun thing I wanted to highlight from this issue is I just find it interesting. Anytime you see a cutaway like this, I always think it's fun. So this is the submarine that causes the living death fog. So it's a submarine fog machine. I thought it was really neat. Love cutaways. You have like a cutaway of like an underground base or whatever to see all the rooms and compartments. And I always find that interesting. Ever since I was a little kid, I always thought that was the coolest thing ever. Now you know. All right, following that, we have Superman number 30. This is from DC, September-October issue of 1944. Fun cover, another yellow cover. Big surprise there. So many yellow covers in this run and Action Comics. Got Clark Kent and Superman on the cover. Who knew that was possible? Anyway, Superman is caught changing identities by Lois Lane and has to pretend to be a strong Clark Kent and a weak Superman. Then Lois Lane, in her own story, saves herself after some thugs attempt to keep her from testifying against their gang. Next up, Superman helps a long-lost descendant become the rightful ruler of a tiny nation. All right, and in the final story, Superman has his hands full cleaning up after the antics of Mr. Mxyzptlk, right? I'm going with that pronunciation because that's what I found online. Mxyzptlk, everyone's favorite little imp from the fifth dimension. So this would be the here it is. This is the very first appearance in the issue of Mxyzptlk. He's imp from the fifth dimension, caused all sorts of problems for Superman, and this is his first appearance. This is the first panel he shows up in. Now they do they give a brief origin for him, and this is Superman's first powered opponent. So until now, if you see like Lex Luthor, that guy had a first appearance, sure, but he's just normal human, maybe a little smarter than everybody else. But this is the first time Superman actually goes up against someone who has some power and can rival his own powers. So it's kind of a big thing. It's kind of, I feel, is turns a corner for Superman, where he's been sort of trying to keep his identity secret from Lois Lane, pretending to be strong Clark, weak Superman. Helps a long lost descendant become the rightful ruler of a tiny nation. He's just going around doing all sorts of stuff against the regular old humans. And now finally someone comes along to rival him. It's unfortunate that this was relegated to just a backstory at the end of this issue. Didn't make the cover, so you don't get the cover, unfortunately, for this first appearance. It's too bad. All right, following that up is an interesting issue, and I'll tell you why. So if USA Comics number 14, this is from Timely Fall 1944. Now, I've found a couple different credits for this issue for the cover. I found, some places are saying it's Alex Schomburg, which it seems like his similar to his style. I've also seen that it could have been Vince Alasia. But I'll tell you what I find interesting about this cover is that it doesn't look like the full cover to me. That's crazy. You got, and I'll tell you, the reason I think this is an Alex Schomburg cover, it's just so much like his style. They got lots of detail, lots going on. Yeah, people shooting at Captain America. You got this crazy torture machine on the front and some ghoulish guy working the levers on the front there. Now, but if you look on the right-hand side of the cover, it looks like there's some sort of starburst type of explosion over there. To me, that looks like it's happening, I want to say off screen, but off panel. It looks like this was shrunk down, and we're only seeing a part of the cover that's was originally drawn. This is total guess, total conjecture. I have no idea if that's actually true. I want to believe it is. I couldn't, and I did try to research it. I couldn't find any information about it to see if this is the case. I mean, I had a hard time figuring out who the cover artist was because of conflicting sources that conflicting information. But in my mind, I'm going to say that this cover is only a portion of what was originally drawn, and I think we're missing a really, really good chunk of what could have been shown on top of it. All right, so we have a Captain America story. So Captain America and Bucky are in Burma trying to retrieve a stolen Buddha idol that contains an ancient secret for making gunpowder out of sand. The Wizard figures out that a man has perfected a way to vocally produce a note with a strong enough vibration to kill people. I found in the Captain America story, I thought it was funny. You got, I'll show you. So on the left-hand side, you got, come on, Bucky, we've got to get after them. And then this helpful lady, wait, you'll never get into Burma as you are. I'll give you a disguise. So on the right-hand side, later, an elderly peasant couple emerged from the rug shop. And they're in disguise. Yeah, Captain America still wearing his mask. Bucky still wearing his mask that you can plainly see. Big red gloves on Captain America's hands. Yeah, great disguise. No one will see through that at all. Come on. I thought that was funny. All right, next up, Whiz Comics 58. This is from Fawcett, September 1944. Cool cover. Bit of action on there. I like it. This is the first 36-page issue, and that's down from 52. So that is actually quite the page reduction. Normally, we've been seeing comics go from 52 to 44 pages. This one makes the jump down to 36. Captain Marvel retires for a day after being accused of committing crimes while sleepwalking. And it turns out it was just he's being falsely accused by a newspaper publisher just looking to drum up sales. Ibis the Invincible believes in goblins after they cause some mischief for him. So that's that. Moving on. Wonder Woman, number 10. This is from DC's fall 1944 issue. Look, I still like H.G. Peters' style. I don't know. This cover just seems to be all over the place. My favorite H.G. Peter cover. Wonder Woman and the Holiday Girls are taken captive by Saturnians looking to conquer Earth. And then following that, you have the Wonder Woman of history. They feature Juliette Lowe, who is the founder of the Girl Scouts of the USA. Back to Wonder Woman. After that, she's a slave on Saturn, where she's made to work on the Sky Road to Earth for the invasion before she destroys it and returns to Earth. And lastly, Wonder Woman is knocked out and taken prisoner back to Saturn, where she manages to broker a peace treaty and trade deal between Earth and Saturn. So, all right, a couple panels from that issue. I just thought it was fun. If you look at this, we have on the left, we have a girl that was drowning, and Wonder Woman saved her. And on the right-hand side, when they're saving her, they are applying Wonder Woman's Amazon system of artificial respiration to bring her back to life. And it works. So this going down on all fours, throwing over kind of like a barrel, Wonder Woman's lifting the feet. Apparently this works to bring her back to life. I thought that was a lot of fun. Now, it is disclosed in this issue that all the Amazons have to learn every Earth language. So in this issue, it came up because she didn't understand what the Saturnians were saying. So it just seemed like gibberish to her. And she thought that was kind of surprising considering she had learned all the Earth languages, as all do all the Amazons. So she's very fluent in many languages. And then on one of her trips to Saturn, Wonder Woman lost her boots. I just thought it was funny that when Wonder Woman's not wearing her nice big red boots, that she's walking around in nice white socks. That's white sports socks. That's wonderful. All right, after that, World's Finest Comics, number 15, DC, fall 1944. Fun cover. I don't know why Robin's scratching his head. Superman, clearly safe. I don't understand what the problem is. Maybe he's just trying to side with Batman because that's his buddy. But look, Superman's safe. I don't know why you need to worry about making that call. Superman takes a man to the front lines halfway around the world to show him the importance of rubber tire rationing, then takes down a black market for it. That had to do with rubber tire rationing. That had to do with rubber tires being sold on the black market. See, this is like I said, you need villains like Mr. Mixelplick. Otherwise, he's just teaching people morality lessons. Star Spangled Kid and Stripesy are at a rehabilitation center for criminals and find out which men are truly reformed and which ones are heading the city's current crime wave. Zatara solves the mystery of the industrial diamonds being smuggled out of the steel mill. Batman and Robin stop thieves who get sent to the electric chair and then come back to commit crimes, only to be double-crossed and killed in a shootout with police. Green Arrow and Speedy take down Mr. Waxface for impersonating important people to pull off his robberies. All right, next up, Wild Comics, number 29, Fawcett, 1944. And you know what? I like this cover. I like Mary Marvel's writing. Just that 3D bolt of lightning. I kind of like it. It's a black cover. I'm sure it's really hard to get in high grade. Mary Marvel stops a man using the lure of excitement to convince children to commit crimes. All right, so now this is the last issue that I had on my list for September 1944. So we move on. We move on to October 1944 with, you guessed it, Action Comics. This is number 77 from 1944 of October from DC. Got the prankster right there on the cover. So as you guessed it, Superman finds that the prankster is up to his old tricks when company owners are cheated out of their businesses using false headlines. That prankster sure is sneaky. Zatara deals with Pan, the spirit of spring, wood, and stream, and jokes and laughter, who has created a coin that makes all of the holder's words come true. Not like I noticed on this cover, Superman seems to be a little out of proportion. I find that his chest, his torso is just really big compared to the rest of the body. It just seems a little short. And so, man, maybe because he's holding up that huge girder, maybe that's what shortened it. But then I found in the book, if you look at a couple of the panels here, on the bottom right, it's a little chubby. Middle left looks a little off too. I just found that throughout the story, whoever drew this story for Action Comics had I don't know, it just seems like he's got his torso, something wrong with it. He's out of proportion. I don't like it. And then I found it interesting that when Superman was trying to sort out the prankster's pranks, that he took a steel mill, a whole acre of plant and machinery and the whole bit, and he moved it into what was it? What did he put into? It's like he put it into some sort of open pit, just open air, just to hide it out of the way. Like because you can just do that. You just pick it up and move it. It's not connected to anything. No worries there. No, and he made sure that he went back and moved it back in time so the workers would be when they were done work that they could just go home. So yeah, it was great. Superman is very thoughtful that way. All right, next up we have Adventure Comics number 94. It's from DC October, November, and is 1944, obviously 1944. This cover reminds me of The Killing Joke. I know it's not. I know I don't expect the Killing Joke took any reference to this cover. I don't expect that's the case. It just reminds me of that. I mean, I love the camera. I love the gun built into the camera. I think it's really cool. I absolutely despise the looks on the faces of Sandman and Sandy with their look. Come on, do they have to be drawn like that? And if you look at I didn't put any interior pages in any of the slides here, but if you look at the interior of this book, it's also got that look. It's so dumb. I hate it. All right. After that, in that issue, we have Green Lantern and that's sorry. Sandman and Sandy make a monkey out of a crook when he dreams of being turned into an ape by Sandman, which actually reminds me when I was reading the story of how the original Sandman walking around with his trench coat and his gas gun really was Sandman. He put people to sleep and that was kind of his thing. And he'd sprinkle sand on them to make sure that, it seemed like he was the Sandman. It was his calling card. These guys just run around in their tights and they happen to show up in people's dreams, because people have bad dreams about them. And they, make some puns about dreams and sleeping and whatever. But it's really falling short compared to the original character was a great character. It's too bad that they decided to go in this direction. Starman is up against a gang of thieves that use a cannon and disguise themselves as meteors to breach walls of wealthy estates. There are meteor showers, and then these guys just, wore some outfits with phosphorescent paint, and then just used a cannon to fly over the walls, looking like meteors that were landing on the property. So that was great. Okay, the last comic on the list is kind of a big one. All American Comics number 61. It's from DC October 1944. This is a pretty iconic cover. Most people probably recognize it. I like that it showed up. We've got big baddie on the front here. It's the first appearance of Solomon Grundy. First cover, first appearance. This is a great cover. It would have been nice if Mixoplick would have showed up on the cover as well, but it is what it is. So look, I'll just give you a little background on the issue. So Green Lantern and Doiby Dickles almost lose the battle against Cyrus Gold's revived body that was murdered 50 years ago and takes on the name of Solomon Grundy. So right, first appearance and cover of Solomon Grundy. I believe this is credited as his origin. I mean, you do see him crawl out of the swamp. Here, I'll show you. Hacha. There he is. You see him crawling out of the swamp there in bottom right panel. This is his first couple panels in the interior. So you can call that an origin if you want. Really no backstory as to why that happened or who he was. There was a bit of mention of who he was, but this is certainly something. I'd hesitate to call this an origin, really, but no, who am I to judge? So you see it here. They've got it, the take on the classic poem. So the classic poem is Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday, christened on Tuesday, married on Wednesday, took ill on Thursday, grew worse on Friday, died on Saturday, buried on Sunday. That was the end of Solomon Grundy, right? On this one, in this story, was born on Monday, got a mob on Tuesday, robbed on Wednesday, looted on Thursday, murdered on Friday, trapped on Saturday, and Sunday is a couple exclamation marks. Look, I'll spoil it for you. This is almost 80-year-old book. He got hit by a train on Sunday, so not much left of him at that point. In the subsequent stories, we have the Adam realizes trouble is brewing when his friend's father is the notorious Blue Diamond who likes to crack safes as a hobby. So he likes to crack safes, doesn't actually rob them. He just likes to open them and show off his skill. Dr. Midnight helps a brain surgeon turn his blackmailer into a reformed man with a new memory-altering procedure. All right, so that's the 10 books of the week. Got some big appearances here. We got some interesting covers. Got stuff going on. I'm going to flip all the way back to the front. And like I said, we'll go through the sales for these books. So Submariner Comics number 14. There was a recent CGC 1.5 sale from April of 2021 for $1,400, $1,400 for a 1.5. And that happened very recently. I'm recording this in April of 2021. So for that, for a 1.5 to sell $1,400 seems a little astronomical to me. In higher grades, an 8.5 from December of 2020 sold for $5,200. All right, so maybe that was your bet for the big book of the week. I'll tell you at the end which one was which, but hopefully you have some guesses. Superman number 30 is the first appearance of Mixoplick, right? That garnered a recent CGC 6.5 sale from April of 2021 for $2,900. USA Comics number 14. You have a recent CGC 2.0 sale from December of 2020 for $856. Whiz Comics number 58. You have recent CGC 9.2 sale from August of 2020 for $408. Yeah, not much surprise there. You don't see a lot of the Marvel family drawing in any of the big sales these days. Wonder Woman number 10. You have recent CGC 9.2 sale from March of 2021 for $4,500. World's Finest Comics number 15, recent CGC 1.8 sale from March 2021 for $250. In a higher grade, an 8.0 sold from January of 2021 for $1,320. Wild Comics number 29, recent CGC 6.0 from February of 2021 for $525. Action Comics number 77, recent CGC 5.5 sale from July of 2020 for $800. Nope, I'm very sorry. The recent CGC 5.5 sale from July of 2020 for $363. Adventure Comics number 94, recent CGC 5.5 sale from December of 2020 for $350. And last but not least, All American Comics number 61. You have a recent CGC 3.0 sale from February of 2021 for $7,106. The other most recent sale in higher grade was a 6.5 from July of 2020 for $19,200. Couple major first appearances here. You got Solomon Grundy on the cover. Submariner Comics looked like it was going to do really well there for a bit with that $1,400 sale for 1.5. But the clear winner tonight is All American Comics number 61, first appearance, first cover, origin, Solomon Grundy. So it's not a timely book this week. TC took it. So that is the big book of the week. That was very exciting. All right, so that's it for this week. Tried up a new format with the pricing. We'll see if I can maybe clean that up a little bit, make it more fluid, make it work smoother for the next episode. I'll figure out and see how that's working. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.